Girl, imagine going from side chick to main chick to side chick with the same guy and not even knowing it. Here's a little story time while we do this quick 5-minute updo. This hairstyle was cheap, y'all. Less than $10. But as I was saying, imagine going from a side chick to a main chick to a side chick all in the same year. So for the purpose of not embarrassing anyone, I'm going to change the names. So let's call the main girl, Mary. And then we're going to call the guy James. And we're going to call James' baby mama Pick Me. Okay? Got it. Okay, so Mary and James met in the club. I know, biggest red flag, but it wasn't your average club encounter. They genuinely vibed. So when they met, they stayed in contact for a while. The only thing was that James actually lived in North Carolina and Mary, she lived in New York. So when they decided to finally be in a relationship, they were doing like this long distance relationship, and we all know how that goes. They felt the chemistry was strong enough to endure the long distance. They didn't think it was going to be forever. But at some point, Mary did get tired of the long distance relationship, and she expressed her feelings to James, and James was like, you know what, I'm coming to New York. And of course, Mary was like, oh my God, he really loves me. But before we think that, let's rewind back into the relationship when James was still living in North Carolina, because there were a few of the red flags. Red flag number 1. James had 2 kids, a daughter and a son that he said was not his. Red flag number 2. James said his baby mother also lived in North Carolina. She actually followed him when he went to North Carolina, but they weren't together. And that leads me to red flag number 3. Every time Mary called James had to go outside, anywhere that was outside of the house. Like, he would be in a car, he would walk down the street, he would walk to the park, but he was never like inside amongst his family, which he said he was living with at the time to get back on his feet. But at the time, Mary didn't think nothing really of it. She just believed whatever he was saying. Fast forward. So now James says he's moving to New York. And of course, Mary is excited. However, at the time, Mary kind of was just over it. She started noticing the red flags, and she was just like, there's something about this guy just giving liar. It was like a gut feeling. Call it woman's intuition. Mary just felt that something just was not right. So they moved on. James came to New York. Mary and him had a really, really good relationship. Maybe within a week of James being in New York, Mary gets an email from Pick Me. In that email, Pick Me tells her that James is a liar. He's been in a relationship with her for the last 6 years. They have 2 kids together. They live together in North Carolina, and he told Pick Me that he was coming to New York to get a better paying job and had her move out with him to New York. But Mary knows all about crazy baby mamas. So Mary decided to confront James, have James confront Pick Me on a 3-way. Of course, James denied Pick Me. Pick Me said, you said we were going to work it out. James was like, you said you didn't want to work it out. Mary was witnessing the breakup right in front of her. The truth lied somewhere in the middle. But in the end, James and Mary decided they was going to stay together. Pick Me was crazy, and they continued their relationship. James told Pick Me he didn't want her, and he was going to be with Mary. If you made it to the end, like and follow to see what happens next.